Save as much sound as we can. You're recording.
All right, yeah, I know, I see it. I just wanted to make sure everybody was cool. All right. Welcome back to the Fairly Decent Podcast, episode 7. This is your host, Jason, and I'm here with a bunch of my best friends. We got CJ the Prophet in the building.
Here.
We got Old School Rello in the building.
Here.
And we got Greg in the corner, too. What's up, y'all?
Here.
Sorry, I missed your call.
We ain't here.
All right, yeah, let's see how that sounds. Y'all can talk, bro. We're just recording. This is what we're supposed to do. This is not rehearsed.
This is on the top of the dome.
Yeah, this is a conversation, man. This is not like this is. I don't do anything rehearsed. So going into this, y'all just need to know it's a podcast. So we have to let everybody talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like it's conversation, but like we're friends. We've been friends for a very long time, so of course we're gonna talk over one another. But at the same time, like it's not rehearsed. I know this is probably y'all's first time doing it. Hopefully it won't be your last time doing it. I love this shit. I love this podcast shit. This is my favorite shit that I've ever done. Over music, over any of the little artistic expressions that I've done in the past. This podcast shit is my love, and yeah, so I don't want y'all to feel like this is going to be an interview. This is not an interview. It's a conversation. And not even a conversation that's forced. This is just us. So don't sit there and be like, I haven't said nothing, I gotta jump in. Just jump in when you jump in. And then, again, always just be respectful on the mic. Like, if someone's talking, let them get their point out. If you have a point to add to their point, just let them get their shit off at least, you know what I'm saying? So that it's not just a combined chaos. It all kind of flows together. Yeah, so let's get started a little bit. Like I said, I already introduced them. We got Greg in the corner here. We got CJ the Prophet. We got Old School Rello. And for most of us, this is going on. I mean, New Year's is tomorrow, so shout out to that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
24.
Another one.
Yeah.
Another one, bro. Yeah, but this is kind of going on a 20-year friendship. If y'all can really wrap your head around that, this is
Crazy.
For us three. Rello's in at a later time, but yeah, this is going on 20 years, bro, and it does not feel like it. But if you sit down and you take a pen or a pencil and add it to a piece of paper, it's 20 years, bro. 20 years since we've been doing this. How do y'all feel about that? I mean, I think about it every day, and I'm like, ever since surgery, I now think about stuff like that, and I'm like, this is crazy, man. 20 years.
Yeah, it's crazy because, like, number one, like, not a lot of people can say that at all.
Yeah.
And when it comes to friends, and I mean,
Genuinely.
I don't even want to say, like, friendship. Like, this
Brother at this point, yeah.
This is family, so if we're saying how do I feel, I'm just thankful to have consecutive people in my life, because the more we fucking progress and do this shit, the more fake ass people are going to come around. Right? So, like, we already have that nucleus of friends.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful that nucleus is 20 years.
Yeah.
It'd be different if somebody I met in the military or I met in 5 years ago, 10 years ago, but this is 20 years of people that I know. And I'm just like...
Yeah. I mean, the time spent is kind of a safety net.
Right? Yeah. It's like 100%.
It's like whenever I'm feeling down,
Yeah.
I go,
Call the homie.
Yeah, I'm calling the homie because like you've heard me at my worst.
Yeah.
At least we've been like a few hundred miles away from each other for a long time because we were both like, on our own pilgrimage.
Yeah.
But like always like, let me just call CJ and see, and that always like kind of brought me back.
Mm-hmm.
And what Carell said outside honestly was a good point. It's kind of like a cassette tape where you can push stop and then you can get back in your car a week later and push play and it's still the same thing. We don't have to have that that fake we have to all go out and celebrate something. We can just call and it be right where we left off.
Or text.
Or a text. Even a text.
And that's enough.
It's beyond the flesh. Like it's more than this human being body. It's more of like auras or like spirits intertwined like for the end of time. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm thankful.
Yeah.
For all of that.
Word.
For real,
Man,
I mean,
Because 20 years.
swirling around.
Yeah.
man. Word.
I'm thankful.
And also, I'm sorry, but
No,
like
yeah.
the fact that we say all that, but like we're all in Virginia again.
Yeah.
That we didn't. I didn't plan for it to be that way. I didn't plan to ever come back, but like
I definitely did not
You know
plan,
what I'm saying?
like being back in Newport News, Virginia, was the last thing that I would have thought about.
Yeah.
Happening.
But given the circumstance, like we're here,
Yeah.
and look what happened already.
Yeah.
You ain't even been here that long. We literally
Yeah.
are finally connecting again.
Yeah.
Like, look what's happening. Like, there's no words.
There's no words for
It's
it.
literally no.
Sir,
I mean, I
real.
feel like I kind of hit the ground running just based on like linking up with you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of
Nothing
like,
left off.
Yeah.
that's kind of like how, at least me and CJ, that's kind of how we have always looked at it, is like, we both, everybody in this room has had their own things going on separately, but at least I know with me and CJ, like, and I would say this a lot, and it's going to sound like a dead doornail at the end of the day, but like, especially with CJ, and he taught me this, there's always a purpose, there's always an end goal. Like when we used to record music, like CJ would come up with, let's just say like the title of something
Okay.
before the song was even done.
Okay.
Which is kind of like how I'm gonna tie this into what you say, hit the ground running. Like we both went our separate ways. CJ started doing his thing, I was doing my thing.
As we do.
Yeah, and then when you come back together and realize like other people also have shit going on too, it is like hitting the ground running because me and CJ have been talking about this for at least 15 years probably. At least 10. Well, I'll say 10. Like we have already had the end goal like tattooed on our brain, but it's about like getting there. But the thing was like I know with CJ and now for me myself, and I'm sure with y'all too now. Like there's always an end goal, and now it's like it's crazy to actually see the end goal in sight. Like you know what I mean? It's
To actually see it now.
yeah, for it to be tangible.
Right.
That's why I'm so proud of like everybody that I'm running back into, and I make sure to give them a hug, and I make sure to tell them I love them because I know where we have been.
Yeah.
Dreams is turning into reality.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's kind of surreal.
Yeah.
For me,
Right.
like it's harder for me to cope with it compared to y'all. Probably y'all are more polished, but
Nah,
like,
but you're a part of us now, bro.
yeah, I understand that, but like certain things I probably haven't taken more serious than other things.
Right.
I'm like a jokester at times, a lot, but like to see like life unfolding the way it's supposed to unfold after you start living right,
Yeah.
it's kind of surreal and,
Yep.
and it's humbling and it's kind of like scary. It's nerve wracking
Yeah.
for a person like me because things are happening the way it's supposed to happen,
Yeah.
and it could have happened earlier. But if it happened earlier, then I didn't want it to happen. Me personally, I'm glad it didn't happen earlier
Yeah.
because I would have been wild,
Yeah.
even more wild than
Yeah.
what I was. So.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So like God, the creator knew the time that it was supposed to start cultivating,
Yep.
and like I'm thankful for that.
That's a really
also.
good point.
Word, man. I think it's really major to look at the path ahead. Look and so we're a 360-degree camera, right? We're a 360 camera, right? And to say something scary with this kind of 360 view of everything. So you're looking at your past, looking at your future, and to say something is scary is huge.
Good scary.
Because yeah, cause
Like
every
nervous
day,
type thing.
every day's a goddamn journey, and we kind of like find ourselves, find ourselves in a place, and all you gotta do is like spin that globe, which is a 360 degree camera, and you're just like,
Yeah.
and that's like every day.
Life
Like
is always going
every day.
around every single day.
Nothing stops.
Yeah.
That shit does not revolve around you at
No.
all, bro.
Yeah, and here we are. Here we are.
Look at us.
Yeah.
Look
But
at us.
let's
Look at these old.
yeah, we are old though, for real. Though.
we're old and
Y'all
we're
old.
tarnished, but we're still kicking.
Alright, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, do it. But
Cerveza.
so like coming off that a little bit, just to give some backstory, because we might have first time listeners, which is always amazing. That's kind of what I strive for. Every single time we push record at Fairly Decent, we try to reach somebody new. That's always the goal, is to reach somebody new. And so for anybody like listening for the first time, first off, welcome. Thank you for spending your time with us. Hopefully you come back. It's each and every week. We kind of vary on the days, so if you missed it this week, catch it next week, or catch up on the episodes that we've done prior. But yeah, so what we'd like to do is, like I said, reach new people. So I'm kind of gonna give like a short backstory. I'm not gonna like go into the depths because we'd probably be here for like 7 hours.
Eternity.
But yeah, we would be here forever if we tried to do that. But I'm just gonna have everybody kind of piggyback off of what I'm gonna get into. We all started out separate, obviously, as children do. So
we all came out of different vaginas.
yes, we did. We all have
Different wombs.
Yes, we all have different mothers. Yes, none of us are brothers.
That was a better way to say it.
Yeah, but yeah. So just to give a little backstory, I think within this room, the first backstory is probably gonna go to TJ and Greg because they were the first people to meet. So just give us some backstory on that. Like, how did y'all meet? When? Just kind of a little backstory on that.
Yeah. You want to take it or you want me to?
I mean, I'm really interested on your take in our first experiences, but like, because like I have a very like it's like ingrained.
Okay.
So I'm really interested in your take. Like, you take the wheel here.
I'm gonna be 100% honest. This shit is blurry right now.
Yeah, you didn't even know who the fuck I was. I was just like,
I mean, I was new to Newport News. I just moved there from Hampton, so like by the time I got to Jenkins, it was halfway through the school year, fourth grade, and I don't remember much. I just remember being scared as fuck, and I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
But I just remember you. I don't know. You were the person. I don't think we were in the same class at that point. I don't think.
I'm not sure I remember what the first real point of contact
That's
was.
what I'm saying.
I'm pretty sure it was like basketball related,
I
but
was
like
about to say.
even when like we were talking about this earlier. This experience is deeply ingrained in my head. I don't remember who it was. I think it was we're talking elementary school.
Yeah.
All right.
That's why I brought y'all to
we're talking elementary school.
Yeah.
And I kind of had a reputation. So we're talking fourth grade, so 8 years old.
Nah.
That's
Yeah.
9, yeah.
Yeah. I think it was
9 years? What the fuck?
That's crazy, bro.
Bro, we're 33.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
Y'all is 33.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was either like Glenn. I don't even remember his last name. I don't remember.
Glenn
I know.
Robinson. It's not Glenn Robinson. That's
Glenn
It was like
Glenn
came
Robinson
to me
the
in a
third.
dream and was like, he's better than you. Yeah, no.
Glenn.
So basically,
It's crazy, bro.
basically one of
Glenn
our
Rice.
peers that knew me because I was there and CJ was new. I was getting ready to go to recess. I don't remember what I was doing, but
You were going to recess.
but I was going to recess and I knew I was gonna go outside and like get it shaken. You know, we didn't
Because
have,
you
we
were,
didn't-
but
we
you
didn't
were
have a
already
hoop.
there.
We didn't have a basketball
It
hoop.
was already his place.
Look,
Like,
We didn't have
CJ
a basketball hoop. We were shooting through the monkey bars.
CJ
at that
could have been
point.
scared or whatever he said, but
Nah,
everybody,
he's scared.
he submitted himself as soon as he had that basketball in his hand.
Alright, so what G is about to say, G was like already established. He had all the handles and all
Yeah.
that shit, right? But like apparently someone told him that
yeah.
they saw me dribbling and they're like, oh, someone's also nice.
So it was beef on site.
Basically,
Oh,
like
yeah.
it was like, you know what I'm
Oh.
saying? And they were like, so G came out and then we probably played against each other. But I do know, okay, from there let's move this forward.
It wasn't 1-on-1.
No, but
I just wanna stress that.
Y'all was guarded. Y'all was guarded.
Wildin' one-on-one
I wanna
in
stress-
elementary
I wanna-
school?
I wanna
That's
stress-
wild.
I want to stress that it wasn't a 1-on-1 kind of situation. It was just like,
Y'all was
all right,
guarding each
I
other.
see you,
here's
I
the
see
new
you,
kid.
and I see
And-
you. Yeah,
exactly,
for sure.
Exactly.
So let me just real quick to 5th grade. We were in the same class. We already had some type of rapport. And this is crazy. We're talking about fifth grade.
That's
Yeah.
wild,
What are we
bro.
talking
That's what I was talking about. If y'all were getting into it one-on-one in
Yeah.
elementary school, y'all were wild.
Wow.
They was guarding each other though.
Yeah, you
But
was about to say.
so fifth grade, we were in the same class, homeroom, all that shit. You only had like 2 classes in fifth grade. Or whatever.
That's crazy.
And so what really drew us together is at fifth grade we watched Dragon Ball Z a lot, and he would draw all this Goku and all this shit. Him and this other guy Courtney,
Word.
and I wanted to draw, and I learned from them, and art brought us together.
Word.
So we were
Crazy.
sketching
It's crazy. I
class.
spoke to his mother today. Oh, I'm sorry.
Ironic. So so art brought us together, and then
Yeah.
here we are.
Yeah.
Basically, but art
Pretty
brought
much.
us together. I mean, basketball, but like art really just.
So then, just kind of like to fast forward on that, Rello gets it. He gets into the picture with me because even though he's the youngest one in the room,
2007.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you started Benchville in 2007.
7.
Yeah, and we were getting ready to leave the next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I
I
didn't know that. That's crazy.
yeah, so Rello came.
I walked in the choir room. The drum line was already set up,
That's crazy.
and I'm thinking I'm about to play on the drum. I'm in 9th grade, and then they tap off.
So
You know-
further backstory on that. Mitchville and Woodside probably had the best drum lines in Newport News.
Yeah.
If you had to think about it,
Yeah.
for that kind of style,
Technically, and
for technically,
skill.
Yeah.
we probably had the best drum
We were
lines.
like
so,
show
Not
bands,
show,
but we
yeah.
were like
yeah, but so we already knew, like at Mitchville, what it was.
yeah.
And
We
y'all knew at
solidified
Woodside,
already,
y'all knew
yeah.
what it was. We were solidified already.
Yeah.
And like, respectively, both of those drum lines were
Nice.
pretty good for high school.
Yes.
Like I'm gonna go actually one up and be like,
We was locked in.
we were locked in
We were locked
in
in.
high school. So Rello had no idea about any of that. He came in blind.
Yeah.
So he wanted to. At first, he wanted to play snare drum,
Mm-hmm.
and
Which is like a reach.
And-
It's like
Any drum was a reach.
Yeah.
True.
In 9th grade for me.
and like, but what made it even worse is like, I don't think he actually. The word never made it to us because it went through me and Andy.
Mhm.
Right,
If it didn't go through me and
course.
Andy, shit was not happening.
right.
But so I think he didn't even make it to that level yet. I think he got to like Sarve, and she was like, "You're absolutely not playing snare drum. So
Yeah.
whatever dream you have of that, like you can literally toss that in
But
the trash can right
The
now."
crazy thing about it is I was all district, all regional in middle school.
Of course.
So I came in, I was always humble. But
Yeah.
I came in like,
I'd earned this. I deserve
yeah,
it.
like I'm gonna get a drum. Because I heard stories like 9th graders, freshmen, you'll be lucky to get cymbals.
This Dr. Lee came to your
Right.
apartment.
Yeah,
Right.
no bullshit though.
So, cause like,
And you was in,
for
were you in the
example,
pit? Were you in the pit?
yeah, I was in the pit
Okay.
too.
Yeah.
Okay. AJ was in the pit.
For
too. Yeah,
example,
got
like a dude a year ahead of me was Seth Robinson.
Yeah,
And he played a part of me in middle school also. You know what I'm saying? So like I see him and he's on snare and he's in 10th grade. And I'm like, I thought I was better than him because he never made all district, all regional in middle school. I'm like, if he's on snare, I can get on snare.
I
Then
thought that
they
was
just
about
tap off, bro.
Yeah.
Andy taps off.
We didn't have like an audition packet.
You
We-
tapped off first.
I tapped off first. Yeah.
Were you on
Y'all played Mamacita. The first cadence I ever heard,
I was tapping off because Andy was
he was getting his look right.
no,
bro.
yeah,
He was mean.
Andy was out of town for something.
No, he was there.
He was there.
The
Then he would have tapped off. The only time I would have tapped
You
off.
tapped off Mamacita. The first cadence I heard.
Did you mark
Oh,
Quince? Was
yeah,
you-
I marked Quince.
Quince always tapped off Mamacita.
Yes, you're right.
Okay.
You are right about that. Yeah. But no, we had to play like eights or something.
Y'all
first.
play eights first.
Yeah.
Y'all did all the warm ups, triplets.
Either way, fast forward the story. Like, we didn't have an audition packet.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have nothing. It was
Set.
strictly.
That's how ours was.
It was already set up.
It was already set up. So like, if you expected to come in and play on a drum 9th year,
You're wrong.
there's no way you could have even known the exercises.
Right.
Because we didn't send out an audition packet.
Right.
So when Rello and a couple other people walked in the room, I think BJ was in
Me,
that.
BJ,
Yeah.
Tyreek,
Yeah.
and I think that was it. Chase was already on the line.
Yeah. Chase was already
Snare.
on the line, and
He's nice, one of the nicest
Chase Royal.
solo individual drummers
That's
that
what
I
y'all
know.
Eric
Yeah.
Buchanan's little
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, bro.
Chase Royal-
Ask him where he learned how to play from.
What you think I'm about to say?
Bro,
You thought you just inspired me? You
I used to listen to his music back
Who,
in the
Chase?
day.
Yeah.
thought you just
Yeah,
inspired
the beats
me?
that he was doing
He's the
back
one that
in
put
the
me
day.
on to you because he was a year ahead of
he
you.
was the one I like showed him how to.
He
hold
wanted to
sticks
go
and
to
all that
Woodside
shit.
so
He
bad,
tried
bro.
to. I tried to get him in there.
He tried to.
Because of you.
Yeah, literally.
Yes,
That
yes.
was like
I'm telling you, I know.
But see, look. So the
Damn,
thing
I
is,
didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
see, the thing is, like, it sounds so corny, but Drumline is like politics city.
Yeah.
Like,
1000%.
Bro, I was
So
so
so we
depressed.
already knew that Chase wanted to go to Woodside before he even came to Mitchell.
So it was already some.
it was already beef on side. I was like,
You ain't even.
But he was automatically on the snare.
but he was
He was
undeniable.
nice.
He was undeniable. Yeah.
Yeah, he was
nice.
undeniable.
He was nice as fuck.
Anyway, fast forward the story
Right,
more
right,
past
right.
that. So like I said, they would have not even known the exercises had they put a drum
Of
on.
course.
So we tap off and start playing, and I remember this distinctly. I don't know if
I'm
Brother
looking like
does.
this.
Looking like this.
I swear, bro.
And like, but
I
he
got a
came
funny
in. He
story.
came in the room with like on some Nick Cannon drumline vibes. Like
Prepared.
he was about to.
Socks.
He was about to do all the back sticks and like all the.
Slouch,
Bro, I had tape around my drumsticks already.
Yeah,
Like,
but and so like,
I'm entitled basically. Thinking I'm entitled.
He was ready.
and we was talking about earlier. He was like, as soon as y'all started playing, I already knew. Let me just go ahead and pick up these cymbals real quick.
I looked at Calvin. And I was like,
It's nice.
y'all got a cymbal line? Like,
That's
We
good,
really
though.
didn't though. We really did it until
y'all
you
didn't.
came.
We didn't mark cymbals at all.
Me, Tyreek, and Michael
Rello,
Pierce.
Rello was like probably on the OG like Mitchell
We didn't
symbol
do
line.
cymbals
We
at
didn't
all.
do cymbals
I was,
until Rello and then
That's
came.
dope. That's really.
I was.
And that takes a lot.
I
of
embraced
integrity.
it.
That takes integrity and like vision to just be like.
And it's a part of the drum line. Like don't
You're
even
adding-
front. Like don't
absolute-
front. Like
absolute- and it's
you are a
not
part of the
easy.
drum line.
I embraced it. It was a lot of humility,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of like brought me down a little bit to like back down to earth. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like these guys, I didn't know. Like just looking at them, you know what I'm saying? You would get a sense of like, you know how you just label people like, you're not that good. I'm better than you. I could look at your stance and
Of course.
you barely holding the quince up. Like
We was always we were always respectful about it. Ain't nobody disrespectful.
nobody said anything when I walked in the room.
Woodside was
I mean,
like.
that's what I was getting ready to ask. I was getting ready to change the whole topic, like, because on my topic sheet I have, but I wanted to get everybody involved. But so when middle school for us was the best time probably
Yeah, because we were all together.
because we were all together and we were all when that's really when this vision that we are actually achieving right now probably started because we in middle school. Sorry you weren't there, but
No, I was there.
No, but in our
I was in the audience.
you were there, but
Yeah.
yes, but
But
we did some
what-
Showed you me.
But what we did in middle school, like, is really when the artistic.
Mhm.
I'm gonna call it like an artistic side because that's what it was. That's really when it came out was in middle school because we all had classes together,
Yeah.
and once we learned that we all had the same kind of things that we like.
Interests,
Yeah,
yeah.
interests. Yeah.
It kind of happened like
Or very organically.
invisibly.
Yeah, very organically.
And we weren't even recognizing that it was happening.
Yeah.
It was just like
We were just having fun. We was just
Yeah.
little kids having fun.
Yeah, literally.
That's
Like
crazy.
we brought it up the other day, but that rhyme book,
Bro, we had a composition, the black and white composition book. I don't know whose it was.
it was nobody's.
So we would be in English class,
In English class.
ironically, in English class, and we would write 1624s.
And pass it around the class.
Write them, not paying attention to shit. And
Y'all just
JP
write
start a
music.
verse.
I would always
Oh, you
start.
talking about rap music?
Yeah.
No.
This is
no
we were
beat,
writing
drums.
rhymes. We were writing
versus hip-hop,
rhymes.
rapping.
We were
We were
not
writing
there was
middle
rhymes.
school.
Yes.
In
We were
eighth
writing
grade,
rhymes.
someone would start. You know how you pass
Miss
notes around the
Bootlegger.
classroom? Yes. You know how you pass notes? We
AKA
passing this
Miss
book
Bootlegger.
around.
Yeah.
And we would go through, and
No,
JP
this-
would start it. Let's say I'll go next. I'll write mine. But every verse would go off of what was there.
And it wasn't
So,
like
also you had to read.
yes.
So whoever got this shit next was like, oh, like we would
Yes.
be there like, oh shit, he said that.
Not caring.
Yo,
Just writing, adding on.
I'm talking about
anything.
however
in-
you reacted. You're not caring.
in retrospect, it was a subclass.
yes.
Right, it was because
We
we were doing
teaching ourselves.
Y'all were still doing English though.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
That's
why
why
I
I
took
said-
English when I was locked up incarcerated. That's why I got a degree in English
Yeah.
Yeah.
for vocab
That's
purposes.
fire. That's fire.
But no, so back to this
That's
notebook.
fire.
For real.
A lot of people like when we tell the story, a lot of people think like you start a line and somebody would finish it. No, we were writing full 16s down on paper and then passing the book and then somebody else would do. We would have like, by the end of the class, we would have like at least 6 different verses.
Yeah,
A piece.
A piece.
We could have put out a small magazine.
Bro, to have that book now. And
So how did that come about though? Like, did that just happen?
You know who I think started it? Junius.
It could have been Junius.
I think Junius started it.
I don't know. I don't really know, but like.
Well, I that's plausible because
He knows.
I was in a couple classes with him. I took U.S. history with Junius, and we had a presentation, and we decided to do a rap.
Word.
I had another class with him. I think it was like a math class. So like high school was very dark for me. Mostly because like my eyes were closed.
Well, see,
Ninth
that's a
graders?
good
For
segue.
most of it?
Okay.
It's probably like
No,
geometry.
you good.
No. I would say yeah, like 10th grade.
Algebra 2. Trade.
I didn't make it to algebra 2.
Yeah.
What, we talking about middle
Said
school?
I'm talking about high
Ah,
school. I'm talking about
Algebra 2.
But no, that's a good segue though. 'Cause I was
yeah.
getting-
Well,
I was getting-
we're the 8th
It
grade.
doesn't matter what it
8th grade.
was. You took
8th grade,
math.
so like
So,
I'm,
like,
I'm not that far from junior high.
yeah. So like, 8th grade comes, and that was probably one of the best
Wait.
years for us.
Dude, I remember
Side note.
Junius had this line. He was like,
Okay, I'll say it later.
"Come through, watch looking laser blue, cop another chain looking like deja vu." And
Damn.
I remember he came to me with that line. I was like, "Yo, all right." We were both listening to the fucking Black. Okay, yeah, this was freshman year because the Black album came out, and we were talking about Allure, which is.
But see, that's where that was my next segue is. So then, that was like the split, because you went off to Woodside.
Fuck up out of there.
Yeah. So like the friend group took like a.
Imagine if you were
It wasn't a. It wasn't a split, but it was.
A
It was a
fissure?
split. It was a split.
It was a fucking chasm. It was a fissure.
Cataclysm.
It was definitely.
You just call it.
for
You
me,
gotta call
for
a spade
me.
a spade. That shit.
It
was a
is.
split.
It is. See, Cadero sold me a dream,
Yeah.
and it was like drums, women.
Is he older than you?
Dude, he's a year ahead of me.
And my sister went to Woodside, so I wasn't thinking about it.
Bro, the
Just
big,
because,
I'm gonna be,
life
I'm gonna
was
keep,
happening.
it was just like, bro, and it was, he was like, yo, you know, we went in middle school, and we've been around the same people and the same girls, but it's, we so shit.
He didn't say you a wrong dream.
No, he
No, he
didn't.
didn't, bro.
He's not wrong. Like, cause that's what we supposed to do. We supposed to go do something else and bring someone else. That's what we supposed to do. But that's how we sold it. He was like, bro, I don't want to be in middle school with the same girls. Let's go over here. And that's how he sold it. And,
Word.
and that's what happened. And I went there and, you know.
All right. So just to bring
Yes,
it like
yes,
all
yes,
back
sorry.
to the pod.
Oh shit! Well, this is
So, like-
origin stories.
Yeah. So like I'm just trying to paint a picture for the people who might be listening for the first time. So I don't want to like take one topic and then do like a cave dive.
Yeah,
like I
right,
just
right.
kind of want to in and out, just so the people can like realize how this all really
Linked
is
up.
actually a full circle. Like this isn't just we just met. Like this whole thing is an actual full circle. That's why I started with 20 years, bro. It's been 20 years since this whole thing is really like cultivated, and it's just amazing to see. So like I'm gonna ask CJ, since he's the only one that went, like how was that like transition from Go to Sleep to Woodside? It must have been all right because you had Cordero and you had. Did you actually have more? So you had people that went there.
Yeah.
You didn't have to like jump into a new friend group. You already had.
No, I mean, yeah. So it was a transition. I had AJ and Kai went. So
Word.
they were actually my grade, so I had them. And then,
AJ.
yeah. And then, you know, DJ E-Rock.
Yeah.
He was already there. He was 07. And then his little brother was there. So, like, that was my core.
Word.
And then they already knew everybody. They planted the seeds already.
Yeah.
So it was a smooth transition, man.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I was
bro.
like, I'm short as hell. So it was like,
That makes
just a
it-
short guy that's here. And
Yeah.
he's also named CJ. And then everything just fell in place. It was cool. It was fucking dope. I'm glad I did that.
Yeah. So then y'all. I mean, I'm just gonna go like spitball off the top of my head. So like during that time, high school time, like we had the Mitchell side. Greg, like he said, those might have been different times for him.
Oh no, I was like ghostly through. I was cool with literally everybody.
Yeah.
In the school, like every scene. It's like when you watch a movie and you see all the different cliques.
Yeah. And that's
I was cool with all of them.
and that's
You know what I mean?
exactly how it was, because that's when I was hanging
But
with.
as soon as the bell rang, I went to sleep.
You know, who I remember. I don't know the dude's name, but I remember you. Oh, you used to be with Steve a lot,
Yeah.
right?
Which Steve? The barber?
Yeah, Stephen Barber.
Steven Barber?
Yes, that's who
Or-
he's talking about.
Nah.
Yeah,
Steve
you
that
talking
played
about-
basketball.
Thomas?
Yes.
Yeah, Thomas.
Right? Or,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
like
yeah.
Keenan also. Or who else?
Keenan. Yeah.
I remember you were in high school because I was in 9th. You was in 12. You used to have waves. Crazy. Also.
I did.
I
I
remember.
put a lot of time into waves. Like,
But yeah,
should we do like a whole like?
Nah, we ain't got to
No, that's what I said.
Segment on
Yeah,
that
that's
shit?
that's a whole
Because
other
That's
podcast.
how I remembered you, though.
I could speak at length about.
Right,
like,
that's why I didn't want to do that because like these are all like separate podcasts like
Yeah.
within themselves. So I don't want to do that. But so like during that time, because I was with like Nick and Andy and all them, but Greg was always cool with everybody. So like Greg never really like flew out of the nest.
Yeah.
Like y'all had y'all stuff over there, we had our stuff over there. But around that time is when y'all started Hero Villain.
Mhm.
Now, did you have anything to do with the start of Hero Villain? Or you weren't a part of that at all?
Oh shit, that's a question. That's a question that I have. And so Hero Villain, CJ started Hero Villain.
Yeah, we all know that.
with LA.
Word.
Correction, I started by myself. I just have to say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just have to.
Okay.
That's why I wanted you to both
Okay.
kind of tell us.
Well, I always felt like I was just like a I was kind of a fixture there. Like I would do graphics
Word.
and I remember we had a fucking actual like we had like business meetings with you
To the
know
left. Right as soon as you walk up.
To the right, right.
Yeah, to the right. My fault. But no, keep going. My fault.
we had those like business meetings and whatnot, and I kind of realized my superpower is like under pressure I can use a lot of words, I can recall things, and
Yeah.
you know but as far as the creation of Hero Villain, no, that's
I kind of
all-
like
that's
just
all-
wanted to know your
that's-
role in
that's all
it because I know.
Well, I was so we established an LLC, right?
So like on the tree, you were like what?
I want to say it was like the CFO or the.
I think I was the COO.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Or
was
like the creative
COO.
director or some shit like that. Yeah.
But like
Pretty
you were
much,
you were
pretty much.
always.
I didn't feel like a C ever, but
Yeah.
like,
But you were always, at least for me in my head, you were always the branch between the two high schools. Like you were always the branch because I knew in high school that all y'all hung out
Right.
like in Dayton and all that. But
yeah,
I just wanted to ask you.
there was a dual life.
Yeah,
kinda,
there was
like,
a dual life. That's why I just wanted to
a
ask
duality. Rather.
if you. The question was more for CJ, but I wanted to hear your perspective on it because I know like around that time you were involved with them over there, what they were doing. But so that was
well, just one thing I would say about that is like I'm not into sales or promoting things that I'm personally involved with.
Yeah.
Like I always want whatever I'm working on to kind of speak for itself.
yeah.
And that's why there are better people. Like CJ was a better person. LA was a better person. Cornell was a better person to like kind of promote it.
Right.
I was just excited to be a part of it and to have like a sort of like creative.
Yeah, and that's why I asked you because, like I said, you were running around with them at the time, like of the birth of when CJ created.
Oh,
Hero
dude, we
Villain.
hopped in the back of LA's truck.
Yeah.
I put on a blazer and a tie. I wore a tie. We all had suits on.
Yeah.
The stickers around.
But
here
like so
somewhere.
back.
We all had suits on and we hopped in the back of a truck and went to business meetings.
Word. And that's dope. I just wanted to see like your involvement with it. So like back to CJ though. So around that time, we all know you created Hero Villain.
Yeah.
I mean, you were the only person to ever talk to me about it.
Right.
Back in those days. So yeah, like we all know how it started.
Mhm.
We know you started it, and we know all of that. But like, what was it like in high school? Like being, I guess, the owner of a brand.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like not a lot of people
Yeah.
in our area, at least. I mean, New York, LA,
For
sure, that shit is popping all the time. But like in our area, you were probably the first, if not, you were the only one that I had heard of.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way.
We were 17 years old.
Yeah.
at the
So
time.
like, how was that experience like in high school?
It was fun, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's the main word I can think of. I have to right now pay homage to my man Trey Hopkins because
Words.
he was like
Absolutely.
tech wise before I knew what Wi-Fi and internet and all. Well, not even Wi-Fi, but like
Just the-
YouTube and shit.
Yeah.
He had all that. So I would hang at his house and he just showed me shit and rap and just stuff that was going on and social media. And so I just saw stuff, and then my natural brain, the creator in me, was like, "Oh, they're doing that in New York. No one's doing that here."
Yeah.
So I always had this idea for a brand, and I don't have to deep dive into it.
Yeah,
but to
yeah.
answer your question, it was fun,
Yeah.
and I was just like, I want to do something and like inspire people.
Yeah.
Even at 16, 17, I wanted to inspire people.
Right.
So it was just fun, man. And we were like having ciphers, and I was designing clothes and shit and showing people, and we dropped some shirts my senior year, and them shit sold out the first day.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what the fuck that meant or what it was. I just knew this shit is lit, and you know it was just fun. We
Yeah.
just had a good time, man.
I got a question. We still talking Hero Brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, we were talking
When
about
I-
the
when I
inception,
was-
inception of it.
Yeah.
when I was at Menchville, I played basketball with Clayton,
Yeah.
and he was rapping at the time and
Yeah.
claiming Hero Brother.
Mhm.
Is that the same?
Yeah.
So he was
No.
on his own,
Yeah.
just out of nowhere.
No, it won't out of nowhere. Some shit went down, and shit went left, and we didn't put shit in writing, and certain people felt that.
That's a good name.
Certain people felt people that I were involved with immediately in the shit that I brought into the shit to build with. They felt that they deserved it more than I did, and
Just ran with it.
yeah. And then at that time,
It wasn't
I don't even know
copyrighted.
how, but Clayton came in, and some other people, and Tevin and them
Yeah.
came in, and they got shit tattooed on them,
Yeah.
and they never paid homage to me or nothing. But that's how it happened. Let me just keep it a buck. I don't know where Clayton came
I'm
from.
gonna end
I'ma
it
be
like
real
this.
with you.
God works
Oh yeah,
in mysterious
absolutely.
ways.
Absolutely, absolutely. But
From
to
the
answer
past-
your question, I don't know where he came from.
You know what I meant when I said I never asked you that.
We're talking about people right now?
I never asked you that because
I'm just keeping. Shit
I heard of that
through him.
when I heard of that it belonged to you. I knew who you were.
Right.
You grew up with my sister.
Yeah,
I shook your hand after you played jazz band.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I heard of Hero Villain, and it was associated with you. But like, and Clayton went to Mitchell with me. He played basketball with me. Now he's screaming Hero Villain. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you know CJ.
All right, so
Yeah,
let
but
me-
to answer your question, no, he was not involved.
Okay,
Yeah.
we
okay.
So like,
keep going.
let me, because that is a very good question.
Yeah, I always
And I'm
wondered.
glad you asked.
I
'Cause
always
I
wondered.
don't be trying to air
Yeah,
shit out, but
That's a very good question.
No,
So
air it out. If that's you.
I'll piggyback on it and do it, I guess, in a more concise way.
Yeah,
Like,
I didn't.
no, you're good. I love that you
For
did
sure.
that
I'm
because
thankful you
I had
did
yeah,
that.
I'm really thankful you did that because that was kind of what my point was. Because the separation between Woodside and Mitchville, you would have to know.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
one of those situations where when he started doing all that,
He had no business.
well, it's beyond that. And
You know what I'm saying? though?
yeah, let me get my shit off because
Yeah, you right.
Oh, yeah, you were doing you were doing drawings.
so like
Before-
that
I remember that.
during that time, I knew what it was.
Mhm.
Now,
just off of knowing me.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm the type of person I'm gonna make a blank page and I'm gonna put something on it. So I don't care about letting the names off. You can answer how professional you
For sure,
want,
for sure.
but I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Mhm.
I always knew it was you
Mhm.
because me and you had conversed about it separately. So when Clay started doing all that, I already knew what it was. So
A lot of people knew it was you at Mitchville. Let me put it that. And I was a freshman.
That's cool to know because I never had that perspective. I never
Yeah.
knew what it looked like.
so when he started popping all that shit
I played
off,
basketball with him though.
I know,
That's
I know.
what I'm saying. So
I got you.
yeah. So like when all that shit was popping off though, I knew what it was.
Mhm.
So I just treated that as like, all right, whatever.
Mhm.
But I know we don't like saying his name, but we all know who the person you're talking about is. So actually, I'm not even gonna say his name
We can
because
say, bro. I
can
don't
say it.
I don't.
I
Respectfully.
respectfully,
for
yeah,
sure.
respectfully. On our side,
Okay.
respectfully on our side, we always knew as you and LA shit.
Mhm.
Like it was never anybody else's except for you and LA.
Right.
Now everybody else that was involved, cool, but at the end of the day, it was you and LA shit. So like, I'm not ever gonna ask about that. That'll be a separate conversation.
Yeah,
I mean, you have
we'll
off mic.
revisit
I don't
that.
like. I'm not gonna do that shit on mic.
Yeah, that's definitely a separate
Yeah,
thing.
I'm not.
It's
I'm
definitely a
never
separate
gonna.
thing.
I'm never gonna ask you that question.
I
on mic.
was aware of the like.
When I was taught the lesson of hero villain, I only knew you. I never heard.
Yeah, let's let him finish where he was landing.
Yeah, so like during that time, I was always your supporter.
Mhm.
I didn't know LA, so I didn't give a fuck. So when I heard all that shit was going down,
Mhm.
I know it. I guess the question I have is like, can you at least give us like your feeling when the shit went all the way down? Because it went from on top of the hill to underneath the earth.
Yeah.
Oh, like in a matter of like 24 hours.
Mhm.
And so on our side, I knew partial details, but like without like saying too much, like how did that shit like really go from
Oh shit.
well, like from what it was to where it is now? Not where it is now, but like what happened.
So again, I'm gonna start with this by saying God's timing is how it happened. Number
Yeah.
one, there was a lesson to be learned, but so it's just like immaturity. We were just children. Like I'm
Yeah.
not trying to get messy. We were just children.
That's what I said. Answer however you
Yeah,
want.
we were just children, and I think people always have different motives, right? I'm gonna be as politically correct as I can be.
Yeah.
People have different motives,
No,
and
fuck
if they
that.
see and if they see an opportunity, they're gonna act on that.
Word.
And what happened was LA's parents were business owners. I don't know if they were like lawyers or something.
Yeah.
But they had like a business. So LA felt and he believed that he had more of a business understanding.
Word.
We talking 17 years old.
Yeah.
What do you really know?
With
But like,
nothing. Yeah.
you know, so he felt he had more of a business understanding, and he worked with his parents. I believe. I could be wrong. He had a job, whatever. I didn't have a job, so he was making money. It could whatever it was.
Whatever it
part-time
was,
job.
yeah.
And he just felt as if because I wasn't working and I didn't have money day to day, that I wasn't fully financially contributing to this.
Yeah.
And
The brand and stuff.
yeah, and even though I invited him into this shit, and it went the way it
So
did.
wait, but let's pause there. though.
Yeah, but also like neither I didn't have a job at the time. Neither did Dathan.
None of us did.
So pause there.
Yeah.
Is that the reason you brought him into it? Was because he presented himself as like more on top of the business than he was? Because it was a collective of
Right.
creators.
For sure.
He might not have been as creative.
Yeah.
I never thought he was.
So the way me and LA linked, like, was hooping first. We played ball, but like we used to rap and freestyle, and like I didn't do that with a lot of people in Woodside.
Word.
Like battle rap was big then.
Yeah.
And they had their own. Woodside was like the battle rap hub.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I
Yeah.
never. So I would freestyle. Me and LA would rap. The same shit we would do, but I had like a person at Woodside.
Yeah.
So we would rap. So naturally, if I have an idea, I was just gonna go to him
Yeah.
because that's who I was like doing that type of.
Right.
I had AJ and Kai, but that's not really what we did.
Yeah.
So I knew I wanted to rap, and so I would rap with LA, and I brought it to him. And I didn't even know the business shit yet. I just
Yeah.
invited him, like, yo.
Okay, so it
let's
was
take
off the
over.
pure love,
Yeah,
like,
just literally. I
okay,
didn't even
word.
know that about him.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, when the shit died and the shit happened, and we'll go into detail later.
Yeah.
about
That's a
how it
whole other
happened,
episode by itself.
But when it happened, I prayed.
Yeah.
I left Virginia, and I was hurt. I'm gonna keep
That's
it.
what was my main question.
I
like-
was fucked up, and at that time I felt like it was over
Yeah.
for me, and it was like, bro, that was my golden ticket, and not that it was over, cause I packed up my bag and I moved to New York or New Jersey, and I was like, I'm about to go. I'm going. You know what? I'm going to the source. I'm going up north, and I'm gonna do it my own way.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? But I was hurt. To answer your question, I was really fucked up at a young age over that shit, man.
And see,
Yeah.
this is really like
Yeah.
we've talked about it before, but we've never like
Yeah, deep dive. I really
Yeah.
haven't deep dive with really anybody.
yeah, and
about
we're not
that
going to do that today either.
for sure.
Um,
I don't want to.
but I had like because I bring it up because the way
I'm sorry.
the way I started the question was,
I had to.
and I'm glad you asked your
I had
question.
to.
No,
I'm glad
it's
you-
fine. Thank you for
Because I used to say that. I used to say that to him, like, yo,
Yeah.
that's my.
Yeah.
That's not yours. I used to say that to him in practice.
Yeah.
That's you. That's not you.
You
Yeah.
said who?
Man, that's me,
To
man.
Clayton.
That's me,
To
man.
Clayton.
That's me, man. Like, what you
Clayton
talking
Gray.
about?
Played the grade.
Yes, but I'm glad you got like to.
Yeah, I'm glad you did because I do
I
need to
I
talk
gave him
more.
that,
I don't
Because
By the way.
don't just think nobody knew.
Right. Okay.
you hero villain at Mitchville. People knew. I knew.
See, but
And-
look.
you know what I mean, though?
I'm gonna break it down further.
I do,
though,
bro.
Because
And I was young.
I'm gonna break it down further because this is the reason that I kind of contrived this question in the first place is because I had a direct source.
Right.
I had CJ. That was my direct source. But the reason I brought it up because on the Mitchell side, low key, he had the younger kids thinking it was his shit.
Right.
But I knew.
I exposed him though.
I knew at the end of the day, like it's
It
one of
don't
those
even
things you
look
play up
real,
as like
yeah.
little kids. It's like, all right, cool,
Yeah.
do your thing. But
I mean, we were kids, and
but
let me just interject.
He was
real
older
quick.
than me. Too.
yeah.
Let me just interject.
Go ahead.
To all of us involved, it was all our shit, and maybe some people, or maybe said person kind of claimed it a little bit more than the rest of us. But
Yeah.
like as far as I was concerned, it was our shit.
Yeah. And see, that's
It was all of our shit.
that's the reason
I mean,
why.
we started it, undoubtedly.
Yeah, and that's the reason I.
But
That's
like,
the idea.
I kind of operated like it was our shit, and like I'm very like kind of subterranean, and like I was just like maybe.
But that's-
maybe I could have promoted it.
That's the
more,
reason I asked the question because
but
there was
I
two
just-
different
I was
sides.
just- I was about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't think about what
You
you
know.
could have did.
But I thought it
But
was
like
like
to-
all of our shit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't.
To wrap the question up, like,
Difficult.
because we get like
That's gonna be a whole nother episode.
that's a whole other.
Yeah,
We
it
are
has to
going
be.
to get into it.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Trust me.
And that's why I'm gonna wrap the question up now
Yes,
because
I just had to ask what I asked.
yeah, no.
Yeah, for sure.
But the only reason I even brought it up is because in the reality of things, it was two different sides. It was like I said, I had the direct source, so I already knew what it was. Greg already knew what it was. The Clayton shit, I just brushed it off as little kid shit. But I wanted you to know
Yeah.
that there was two worlds.
Bro, I appreciate that.
It was.
Honestly, because I didn't know that.
Yeah, there
And
was
I never
two
even
worlds.
thought about what
I-
it looked
I
like
didn't
because
know.
I was just trying to like get out of there. But
Yeah.
I didn't think of. I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for that, for real.
Running-
And that's a long time ago.
And so, like, just to
That's a long
even
time
to let's segue from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had a second go around, and the second go around was Society.
Shit was lit. Shit was
And
lit.
so, like, that whole thing
oh my god.
was a separate entity on its own, and that was kind of like, if we're gonna call a spade, that was a middle finger to hero villain.
Thank you. Yes.
That
It
was a true middle finger
It
to
was.
hero villain.
It was.
Whether you would have said it back then or not, because
No,
back
it
then you would have answered it probably. This don't got nothing to do with that.
Trying to like
But it-
ego and shit, but yeah.
But deep down inside,
It kind of does have something to do.
that Society shit was because
was.
hero villain existed at one time.
It was. And I know that now.
Yeah.
I didn't even, like you said, at that time, it's not,
You would have never answered
at
like that.
because I want to take the higher ground, but yes. Everything I was doing, which is why everything for me was so forced.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to work with B-Bag and trying
Yeah.
to work with Jake. And like, that's not what I want to do. But however I'm going to get my voice on this shit, I'm working with whoever. And you're right. it
Because
was.
you wanted to stand on top of the hill
Yes.
and double middle finger back to all of them. I knew it from the start.
You right.
And I didn't want to say it, but because we were having so much fun. We were having so much fun that shit really didn't matter.
Right.
But I knew a piece of a piece of what was going on. I was
Yeah.
like, if this shit take off, I guarantee you, CJ.
Shitting.
Hey,
Yeah,
Shitting.
I'm gonna say this like
Shitting.
just being around the soul side movement.
and that's a whole nother podcast.
That's a
by
whole
itself.
nother one again.
Yeah.
Like the whole soul side movement. Like it was basically like what's it, John? Morse code. Like it was already. It was a format. Without you even knowing that. And you was still humble with it.
Nah, I'm gonna stop you right there, Rello, because
He was humble with it as presentation.
yeah, sure,
But them words,
Yeah.
if you really know what he's saying,
But no, Rello, you're wrong, bro. I'm gonna pause you. I'm gonna say you're humbly wrong because that.
that's my take though.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
For sure.
But at the like the seed of it.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Of
That's why.
course.
That's
I
why.
didn't know that. in
Which
the
is
dirt.
why your perspective is not.
That's why I
it's
said
not- you're not wrong for your
respectively you're
perspective.
wrong
Right.
because
Right.
you saying
Y'all.
that
It was y'all.
no, it was him.
No, I'm saying y'all was that.
We
I was
were
just
that.
on the outside.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is from the birth of it, you saying that,
I wasn't speaking on the birth.
yeah, because the birth goes back to what I started this whole conversation with, was that the birth of that was a
Double middle finger.
it was a double middle finger to hero villain, because CJ already had the blueprint.
I was about to say, because
That hero villain shit.
Yeah.
Soul Society is what CJ wanted hero villain to be.
Yes.
I didn't know.
Which is what
I didn't know
it's all
any
the
of
same
this
shit.
until he just answered my question 5
Yeah.
minutes ago.
That's why I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That,
It's the same shit. Hero villain was light and dark. Soul Society was light and dark. It's
Yeah.
the same
It's
shit.
the same thing,
And
bro.
then I met him, through school and shit, but this motherfucker right here used to send me pages and pages and pages of raps. I don't know if you remember that.
yes, bro.
He used to text me raps and like, yo, what's good? What we doing? And I'd be like, yo, is this dude serious? Because I didn't know. I knew
Yeah.
you from drumming.
Yeah.
He would text me raps, and you was so dedicated. And I said, yo, Jay, I got some shit called Soul Society. Let's go.
Let's go.
And that's how that shit happened. And we
Yeah.
fucking hit that shit by a storm, bro.
And again,
That shit over,
just
man.
to
Yeah.
just to
We ain't gotta go
that
deep,
all of
yeah.
this shit is
Yeah.
contrived.
Mhm.
Like this, I knew what Soul Society was.
That's crazy.
As soon as he told me what it was,
Mhm.
I was like, I already know what this is. This is exactly what CJ wanted hero villain to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we would have had the merch and the clothes
Mhm.
on the same level that we had the music going,
Yeah.
that's what hero villain would have been.
Mhm.
Because Society was not.
That word would have spread.
Push
Yes.
enough. Or,
No, Society was not.
My ex was like,
Y'all think y'all
huge
y'all,
fan of
y'all
it.
think y'all did that 100%?
My
Y'all was having
ex-girlfriend-
fun.
My ex girlfriend like loved your shit.
Yeah, word.
Like, I played everything.
And y'all was in New York.
Yeah.
Y'all was having
red.
fun in my eyes.
So
Yeah,
like,
we
look,
It was easy.
So
Yeah.
I'll break it down.
Slash a slap in the
I've been
face.
talking to you. I've been talking about you for a long time.
Thank you, man. Whether good or bad, thank you.
I didn't know
I
none of that.
don't think
I didn't know
anything
what was-
bad has come up about you.
I didn't know that was the second coming,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
And see, but look,
Soul
like,
Society.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Coming?
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
so like I'm gonna break it
'Cause I
down
did wonder,
into
like-
small parts for you. So hero villain, or Society was what CJ really wanted hero villain to be, because Society was a name. It was not like Wu-Tang Clan where you could list members of Society. Society was its own entity. It had, if you were around, you were part of Society.
Yeah.
Whether you rapped,
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
whether
It was
you
more
just
of a
sat
move-
down
it was
on the
more
floor
of
and
a
listened.
movement.
Literally. And that's what I want a hero villain to be. Yes.
And that's exactly what he wanted hero villain to be.
See, I had no idea, like, for real, because I was around, and, like, even before I even started, like, dabbling in music and anything like that, like, I always wondered, like, he had hero villain, and it was, like, on the map. Now, out of nowhere, he has a whole nother brand. Why? And that's on the map. You see what I'm saying?
Just
I
like
didn't know.
said,
I didn't
bro,
know that.
It's God's timing, man. That's all it is, bro.
I never knew the backstory.
No,
That's
for
why
sure.
I had to ask you.
But it's important that people know these details. And like I said, another podcast, which I know people are gonna be like, "Well, what the fuck? Why ain't y'all do it?" Like, because we don't have 5 hours to sit down.
Yeah.
Like that's just
At least not today, but we
Yeah.
will. We will.
that's just what it is. We don't. We can. Do
It's
this
New Year's
shit.
Eve, by the way.
Yeah.
Just so y'all know, it's New Year's Eve.
Happy New Year's.
I'm
But-
gonna go shake my tail.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna go shake your tail. I'm gonna go set my tail.
Wait, what's the New Year's plans?
I think
Nothing.
we might step out. We might step out.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. I might.
Word.
Just to close out the week, we had a great fucking week. Like, why not? I'm gonna go.
We had an excellent
Great
week.
week. I had an enlightening week.
And that's
Yeah.
kind of how I want to end.
Yeah.
Not end the podcast,
Yeah,
but
let's go.
the segue to Friday, man. That was
Sure.
electric, bro.
channeling.
Mm.
I
And
channeled
like,
it.
if I know I've given you your flowers, but I'm gonna give them to you again.
Thank you, bro.
The reason I broke down and cried, bro, is because all of the shit that we just talked about. I mean, I know the conception of what you want to do, and me and you have been yin and yang for a very long time, and
In many ways.
it makes me, it really does. God, I don't want to get tears in my eyes again, but
I'm right there.
it makes me emotional, bro, because we had that vision a long 10 years ago, more than that, but
Really?
realistically, like 10 years ago, and to see it finally in physical form is just, I can't tell you how much,
Okay.
how proud I am, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to know that, like, from the deep down bottom of my heart, it makes me so happy to see this, bro.
Thank you, bro.
Like, I just want to, like, ask a couple questions, like,
Yes, please.
like, because I want to really, like, start to evolve, but that'll be another hour, and
Let's
I can't do that.
You
But,
gotta hear that, by the way.
Seriously.
yeah.
I tend to
But it kind of, I don't want to say it started with
I
Evolve,
already listened to it.
because, I mean, the amount of music you put out is ridiculous anyway.
Yeah.
But for you, was Evolve the one that, or did you not like Evolve? Like, how did you? Because it seems like since Evolve is when it really, like, the spark turned into a flame.
Yeah. Yeah, Evolve definitely was that. It was ironic the timing that Evolve in my mind was the album that was gonna change my life.
Yeah.
And ironically my life changed in a way that I wasn't seeing. But this was 2023 was hands down one of the hardest years of my life.
Yeah.
Almost, yeah. It was a very hard year, and that album was supposed to change shit for me, and I worked for it, and when it dropped, it just fizzled because I had to go in a cave.
Yeah.
I literally had to go in a cave, just like we were talking about, to get ourselves right.
Yeah.
And I did nothing all year. I did that album, which I've been working on for like 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And I put it out, but I didn't do no shows. I wasn't outside. I deleted my social media for like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
The irony, how amazing that album was.
Yeah.
And then, like, I'm not here. So
I wasn't mad at you, but like I was kind of mad at you because you're kind of the glue.
I was mad at myself.
Why is CJ not jumping on the game right now? Because I know like if C ain't in there, then nobody else can really jump in.
Bro, I was
But
genuinely.
I get it.
I was genuinely hurting this year, man, and it was all self-inflicted, but it was also, it was my lesson for me to learn, and I had to go through that by myself. But Evolve was still, yes, it was a turning point for me because I put myself out there.
Yeah.
Self-realization.
I really put myself out there with the album, and trust me, if y'all are listening, Evolve is going to revive, and when it does,
I'm gonna make sure it does, regardless.
I guarantee you, we're gonna revisit that shit. We're gonna revisit it. But yeah, man, that's my favorite album I've ever made.
Yeah, that was my next question. So you do look at it as like
Yeah.
your best album and
Piece
your
of
most
work.
favorite?
Yes, 1000%.
Yeah, and like I said, that's for me. I was in the hospital when Evolve came out, I believe, because it was in June, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I was in the hospital, so I caught up late on Evolve, but just the moving around since that, whenever you pick back up,
Yeah.
the moving around since then has been a lot different,
Yeah.
and it's been for the better.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
Oh man, that's a
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
word. That's a great fucking question. I gotta always just shout out God. God happened.
Word.
Number one, I got my wife back, and
Word.
shit is good, and
Yeah.
I'm honoring her.
Yeah.
And then number two, my brother moved back to Virginia,
Yeah.
and that was just the solidifier for me.
Word.
And then I reconnected with you,
Yeah.
and I said, "It's time.
Yeah.
It's time." And that's really what I got my people back.
Yeah.
That's all.
Real
it was.
shit.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That
Got my
was the main thing I've been wondering over the past couple
A
months.
lot of people have been asking me that.
Yeah.
It's like, how you just pop out and do that Friday?
That's what I meant.
Like,
That's what I meant.
Like what? Like
I've
how do
seen
you
you-
do? Niggas was like, bro, it was raining. It's New Year's, it's Christmas time, it's Richmond. How the fuck did you do that? And I'm like, I got my people back. Like for real, I don't know
Yeah.
how else to explain.
No,
it.
it's real,
Yeah, bro. I
I've
got
seen
my
you
people
do
back.
numerous shows, right?
Yeah.
Bro.
And you always have had the capability, skills, words, vocabulary, all of the vocal trends or needs for that art,
Yeah.
music itself. But your stage presence, what I seen the night before last, and the way you engaged and made me feel it.
Bro, I've been working, man. I've been working on it.
That should trip me
Well,
out.
It
another
made me
thing,
feel it.
I want to say, I don't want to. Thank you. I don't want to be long-winded, but what I want to point out for right now is that what I did with this album that I put out on Christmas, Packaloosie 6, available everywhere.
Yeah.
I stepped out of my comfort zone. This was the first album where I didn't produce anything. And I was like, I met another producer and he was like, bro, let's work. And usually I'd be like, oh, okay, I'll take a beat or two just because I want to control everything. And I get that from my dad. But I was like, you know what? Send me a pack. And he sent me like 30 beats. And I used what I used. But what I'm saying is that I stepped out of my comfort zone. Right. So to anybody listening, as soon as you step out of that comfort zone, it's on. It's on. That's all I want to say. Just get out of that comfort zone. It's gonna be okay. Trust yourself.
And so
that's where we at, bro.
Where I know where you're at, and I know where we're at. And 2024 is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Shout out to that shit.
Oh my God.
So where are you at? Like now, is this? Like, what are your plans now? I mean, I know you have a future plan.
That's a great question, bro. Yeah.
But like, let's put it on like a 3 month. Mm-hmm. Let's do it quarterly. First 3 months, 2024. What you doing?
So first thing in like 2.5 weeks, I'm going to LA for a month.
Right.
I got some shit lined up with some entities out there. I'm also going to the NAMM show. If you've never heard about the NAMM show,
please go to the NAMM show.
Yes. So I'm going there and I'm linking with people and I'm building, I'm networking, I'm spreading everything we're doing. I'm just spreading the word on the West Coast.
Right.
Every time I go to the West Coast, it's like love. And I can't make this shit. I really can't make this shit up. I go there and it's love. I'll talk about LA later. Like it's fucking love. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to LA and I'm working every day for a month. And then after that, my goal is to show my face more. My goal is to do what we're doing more.
Yeah.
Talk more, open up, and be more vulnerable. That's it. I want to show my face more, and I want to go in on social media. Yeah. Because that's the only thing I'm missing right now.
Right.
The music is.
That was never our shit though.
It never.
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why. That's one of the reasons why Soul Society might not have.
Right. Because we wanted to just be in our own.
We just wanted our own shit.
If you want to expand, you can't. You can't. You got to get uncomfortable.
Yeah. Y'all had it without the social media.
For sure.
Yeah.
So imagine
that part.
Me too.
But we got it now. We got it now, bro.
I never been social media type.
There's a Soul Society episode coming soon. I promise you.
We got it now. But yeah. So to answer your question, I'm gonna show my face more.
Word. I'm
gonna interact with people more. And be more open. That's what I'm doing.
And that question is kind of for the room. What do y'all, just separately without like talking over each other, first 3 months, what y'all got going on?
I'm trying to get back.
It doesn't have to be nothing extravagant. Just make sure you go to work every day.
No, I'm gonna do that regardless.
Most definitely.
Because that keeps me sane. But I'm re-inspired, man. Word. Like I'm re-inspired, and like for real, I want to get back and actually like take my lane a little serious because I never had for real.
Word.
I never really. I don't have no music videos, nothing like that. But like, I know music from being around y'all. Yeah. I know music. Y'all helped me. I studied my skills through y'all, and it took time. Like Rome wasn't built in a day, but like I know myself. And the next 3 months, I want to start doing shows. I want to expand this movement.
Do you want to put a project out first?
Yes.
Or do you? Because not everybody does that. Like not everybody puts out a project and then starts doing shows. Like
I want to do like a little EP.
Word.
Have a couple videos, and then start doing shows.
Yeah, that's a game plan. That's a game plan for sure.
Right, but like it's like for real, like me. I just want to enjoy the moment of me, like, progressing to this point where I can rap or freestyle and everything's going to rhyme. And, you know what I'm saying? It might not flow together, but, like, I have progression.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I enjoy that aspect, and my fire has been reignited, literally.
Word, that's awesome, man.
So the next 3 months, I'm really looking forward to it. So
yeah. Great, what about you?
Okay.
And it don't have to be nothing. Like I said, it could just be one thing. It could be maintaining what you're doing right now. It could
Okay, so 5 years ago in November, I had my first solo art show.
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
I'm working on my second show.
Awesome.
So that's something that's very much in the forefront. But honestly, like to my core, I just want to be a better friend.
Why do you say that?
I feel like I've been dragging my feet.
In terms of being like friends, what do you mean?
Yeah, in terms of, I just want to be a better friend.
Okay.
I want to be a better
I can
friend
relate to
the
that.
people that are closest to me.
I can relate to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Honestly, I can
Yeah.
relate to that. I
Yeah,
could be.
it was the first thing that came to mind. Like, I want to unpack the whole, like, yeah, I want to do another, I want to do another show, but, like, shit, man, with life, every day is a fucking journey, and I really haven't found that much time to be creative in the way that I'm creative, which is very much, it's very much subterranean. It's very
Yeah.
much like I'm in the cave
Yeah.
and like shutting people out,
Yeah.
and I feel like
You want to leave the cave more.
I do want to leave the cave because I thrive. I thrive at the watering hole.
Yes. Yep.
But I create in the cave.
Yeah.
So that in itself is a
Wait, run that back. That was crazy.
Yeah,
That was crazy.
Well, I've been
I thrive
literally
in
like
the watering
I've been
hole,
in
but
I've been in
thrive.
the abyss ever since he started his excerpt. For real, like he just spoke to me
Oh man,
humongously.
That was
beautiful.
crazy.
He said, "I want to be a better friend." First of all, I relate to that. It reciprocates. My example is to y'all.
Yeah.
I had to do what I had to do and remove myself away from people for my betterment. Now that's done. I'm good. Now let's show these motherfuckers what they've been missing.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
let's turn it up a notch.
Yeah.
And I'm happy and excited and nervous and scared and all of that. But this is what they deserve to hear.
Yeah.
It's not about us.
No.
It's not.
It's not. This podcast is not for us. It's
No.
literally for. Like
This is
you
what
said.
they deserve to hear this. So I'm just blessed to have been schooled, to have been taught and actually understand and take heed to what was said to me and taught to me. And I'm just blessed to still be alive to this day and be free.
Yeah.
And I enjoy the little things like turning off the light switch, opening and closing doors,
Word.
laying down, you know what I'm saying, not having a book made and shit. I don't have a problem explaining my past, but like that made me who I am today.
Yeah. And that's gonna like
Exactly.
That's a whole
Me
nother
and you
one,
were
too.
gonna do a separate thing.
Yeah.
Fuck yes, that's gonna be amazing.
I actually plan on doing separate things with everybody in this room. Because everybody in this room has a story to tell, and like I said, we could honestly be here for 5 hours.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't want to be, it's just we got to
Right.
keep it moving.
For sure.
So I'm going to kind of close out the podcast there. Thank you all in this room, first and foremost. Thank you all in this room for allowing me to put mics in here and kind of just give a piece of yourself to people that, one, probably haven't met you before, two, will hopefully continue, who support me will go on to now support you and everything that you do. That's kind of my goal here, is to introduce everybody, not one by one, but kind of give in-depth conversation, like personal conversation, keep that to a one-on-one so that you have your own space and time to really elaborate on what you want to do and what you have been through and the things you got going on. But like I said, I'm going to end the podcast here. I don't know how many people we had live. I don't know.
It was like 15 people.
Like 15 people. That's what's up, yo.
Yeah.
Keep coming back every single week. Again, the goal here is to touch somebody new every single week, even if it's just one person. Tell somebody else. Come back. We are here once or twice a week. This is the Fairly Decent podcast.
Yeah.
I really want to thank y'all for coming out.
Hell yeah.
This will probably go up tonight. Tonight being New Year's Eve. So if you catch it then, great. If you catch it next week, no problem. If you catch it next month, no problem. If you go catch back up, sweet. If you're a first-time listener, please come back. We do this once or twice a week, like I said. My name is Jason. This is the Fairly Decent podcast, and I'll see y'all next time.
Y'all give it up for JP, man.
Yeah.